So, characters. We've got Luke, a theoretical physicist, Leia, the feminist face of Cinnabon, Han, who totally knows how to fix the hyperdrive, Chewbacca, who also totally knows how to fix the hyperdrive, C-3PO, who actually knows how to fix the hyperdrive, R2-D2, a droid who really wants to be a submarine, James Earl Jones, who is practicing for his upcoming role as Mufasa. And this is what literally happened in Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Luke, traveling on an amalgamation of all Jim Henson's rejected puppet designs, is attacked by the abominable snowman, whose angry behavior is a definite sign that his yellow snow cone business has fallen on some hard times. The Yeti doesn't yet recognize Luke as a human, what with the extreme layering of furs and snow blindness caused by snow. So when he realizes his mistake, the giant lets the Jedi go, but he keeps the Tauntaun pelt. Meanwhile, the rebel forces have set a new goal: recycle all the styrofoam in existence. Their new base is the prototype for the Green Building Initiative. The builders are afraid that too much heat could ruin the craftsmanship shown in their architecture, which is why the base is located on the coldest planet in their solar system. Han, out for a jog, finds Luke in a state of hypothermia and does what anyone would do in his situation: kills the furry dinosaur and shoves Luke inside of it, skipping over the skinning part of Tauntaun deconstruction. Once they're back at the Styrofoam Palace, Luke takes a public bath in a diaper as he fails Angier's water trick yet again. Upset by Luke's failure, Han readies the Millennium Falcon for takeoff, only to be caught off guard by an Empire attack. A technological version of the Lord of the Rings Battle of the Black Gate, with Luke cosplaying as Legolas and the AT-ATs as the elephants. Once the styrofoam has settled, Luke flies off into space with no clear location for regrouping or thought of his friends, and he starts to talk to a robot using both comedic timing and a sense of sarcasm.
Yes, R2.
Highlighting his potential brain damage after a particularly nasty plane crash by the foot of an AT-elephant. When Han suffers performance anxiety in front of Leia,
Watch this.
Watch what?
no one is surprised. He tries to overcompensate by going near one of the
big ones.
and they barely avoid detection by becoming dinner for a giant meteor worm, which some will argue is perhaps not a better fate than being detected by the Empire. They do manage to escape the flaccid worm jaws, but not before some grade A sexual assault and emphysema. Meanwhile, Luke crash lands on a beautiful matte painting and temporarily loses a droid that can withstand the extreme air pressure changes of space and various atmospheres to a little water and fog.
R2!
Only to then be discovered by a croaking remnant of Sesame Street. This truth-bombing Kermit ripoff reveals himself to be a Jedi Master, proving this by saying he's a Jedi Master.
For 800 years have I trained Jedi.
After a brief inner struggle, he agrees to train Luke in the ways of the Jedi, wax on and wax off and whatnot. Meanwhile, Vader has a little conversation with his boss about a new threat while he deals with a serious case of identity disorder.
Anakin Skywalker. Lord Vader Skywalker.
He takes his new assignment on with gusto and sets off to set a trap for this threat, meeting with an intergalactic suicide squad to put a bounty on Luke's head. Well, his body at least. They're under strict orders not to kill young Skywalker.
No disintegration.
Back at the matte painting, Luke gives Yoda a piggyback ride while practicing gymnastics as R2 beeps and gets money. Upon Yoda's request, Luke goes into a cave, which looks more or less like the matte painting, but darker, to face a fake Vader with fake lightsabers in a fake battle with fake stakes, the last of which is good, because Luke kills what appears to be himself. In response, Yoda nearly turns this into a musical,
Always with you what cannot be done.
but decides spoken word is a better way to express his feelings.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Han and the crew temporarily assassinate 3PO as they become one with the garbage in order to escape the Empire. Contemplating careers as minors, the group tries to find Lando Calrissian, the token black character, so he can be part of the crew, diversity and whatnot. Uninterested in such things, 3PO wanders off, only to once again get himself temporarily assassinated. The other droid, R2, gets ready for takeoff as Luke ends his training in order to follow his dreams. Ghosty One warns him not to go, and Yoda drops a subtle hint that his journey might not end well.
You must not go.
But Luke ignores both of his old, wise, magical, smart, half-dead Jedi Masters and takes off towards Lando's place in a well-marinated plane. Chewie plays ball with some kiddos before finding the mutilated remains of 3PO's body. Relatively unworried, Chewie heads back to his room where Han and Leia are doing who knows what on a couch. Lando expresses his ignorance of droid anatomy while they all head off for a drink, where they find Vader, who can stop lasers with his hands now. God help him if he ever needs a tattoo removed. Vader and Lando have a deal. Lando sacrifices all his friends to certain doom, and Vader will stop the occasional ship from stopping by. The trap that Vader lays for Luke involves carbon freezing. In other words, a really good prop department model of Harrison Ford. Luckily, he needs to test it on Han first, or else that could be awkward. So Han gets hit in the face with some smoke and comes out Carbonite Han, alive and well, but Carbonite all the same. Leia manages to tell Luke about the trap, and instead of going after her, he goes into a completely unrelated room with menacing lighting. In a truly shocking twist of events, Vader is there, ready to fight to the... well, not death, because those aren't his orders. Lando has a change of heart. 3PO is racist.
And you're all alone. Had to be a mistake.
And Leia goes off with Chewie on a last-ditch effort to save Han, whose name is suddenly pronounced Han? They fail, because trilogies have 3 parts, but do manage to get to the Falcon just in time to escape Vader's troops. In a violent temper tantrum, Vader slashes at tubes he presumably needs to freeze Luke, missing his target by several feet and showing a disturbing lack of foresight for a military leader. After force-throwing large, heavy objects at the kid instead of fighting him, Vader manages to suck Luke out into a space wind tunnel, totally within the realistic bounds of physics. Luke, who has developed a death wish, gets his arm cut off before crawling out onto the flimsiest possible extension of the wind tunnel platform and jumping off into certain oh wait, no, I forgot about this part of physics, sorry. Oh, and Darth Vader is Luke's dad. Luke really likes how his hair looks in the wind because he ends up chilling on a weather vane thousands of feet in the air in order to get that perfect wind-swept dew. He telepathically communicates with Leia because they both know Legilimens, and the gang manages to snatch him off the weather vane just in time. Then Luke and Vader have a quick little father-son conversation in their heads before the Falcon shoots off into space again, dead set on finding Han. Oh, and restoring peace to the galaxy or something. And that is what literally happened in Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back.